Good morning FlossTube, it's Liz here at Stitchworkes, and a huge welcome to all of my lovely new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me. I think a lot of you joined because of the FlossTube collaboration that I did a couple of weeks ago, which was really good fun. And there's since been another FlossTube collaboration come out, which was this weekend just gone. So if you pop into the search on YouTube, FlossTube collaboration, you will find a fab collaboration all about focusing on fibres, so all the different types of threads that there are available for us to use. Please check those videos out because there are some fab offers there. A lot of the collaborators had a sponsor, whether that was a thread manufacturer or a shop, and they've been able to offer you some really great offers. So have a look at the next FlossTube collaboration. I wasn't in the one on fibres. Life was a bit mad last week and I couldn't find the time to make a video, so I bowed out of that one. But there are 10 lovely FlossTubers, all with fab videos all about the different threads, and I was personally able to benefit from one of those lovely offers. So I have an order in with Mrs. Sadus, and I'm looking forward to that one arriving when it wings its way over to me from Spain. A big welcome back if you've been with me for a while. Thank you for sticking with me. It's good to have you along for the journey. We're quite informal here, so grab yourselves a cuppa. I feel like I've got loads to tell you about today, and we have a celebration. So as a result of the FlossTube collaboration, I hit 1,000 subscribers, so yay! And I have a celebration to share with you, which I'll do towards the end of this video, so please hang on in there to find out all about my celebration and how you can enter for a chance to win a lovely prize. So, I have a finish. I just squeaked in. For those of you that have been with me for a while will know I've been working on my gingerbread village from Cottage Needleworks, and I was aiming to finish it by the end of July, and I squeaked in with 20 minutes to spare, so I finished it at 20 to 12 on the 31st of July. And I am absolutely made up with this. Try and get it all in the picture for you. Wrong way. So I am really delighted to have finished this one. So next stop will be taking it down to get it framed, and I'm really kind of open as to how I'm going to go about doing that. I love the buttons on this. I could get it a bit closer so that you can see some of the buttons. So every single part of this has a button, and I think they really kind of make the project. It's the first time I've done a project with buttons on, and I really love them. So pop that one back there safely. So yay, I have a finish. So that is the third one of the 4 projects that I had aimed to finish this year. So one more to go, which is the gift, which I've not been able to show you. I'm just going to have to make myself get on with that one. I've not been enjoying stitching that one as much. I'm not really sure why. I just want to get that one finished, and then I'll have finished all of the 4 that I want to finish this year. So I reckon if I actually concentrate on that one, I could get that one done fairly soon. I don't want to tie myself down too much because we've got some holiday coming up in August, and I won't take that one with me on holiday, so I'm hoping to get that one finished soon. And I will definitely get it finished this year, because I would like to frame it and give it to the person it's intended for. So we're doing really well, and I asked you last time, for those of you that were with me on my last FlossTube, to let me know what projects you'd like to see me focus on. And one of the ones that kept coming up, several of you said about finishing my autumn tree. So just dig that one out so that I can show you. Typically nothing's in the right order on my pile of stuff next to me. So this is a Barbara Anna autumn tree. So for those of you that have not seen it before, the Barbara Anna Designs autumn tree. And I haven't touched this one for a long while, so this is what I've done on this one so far. Needle Minders by the lovely Denkai Designs. So you see, I've just really done the top few branches of the tree. I would say I'm maybe about a quarter of the way on this one, so plenty for me to do. And I think, yeah, I really like that one. So this one is going to be one of the projects that I aim to get finished this year. So this will be one of my pieces that I just spend a bit more time on, and I'm really actually looking forward to getting back to working on that one. That's going to be a real pleasure for that to be one of my other pieces. The other piece that actually nobody mentioned, but I've decided that I want to focus on getting finished, is my January calendar month by Waxing Ring Designs. So I have actually been working on this one a bit this week, and I'm working on this header at the moment, so there's a lot of stitching in that header. So I'm going to aim to get that one finished, so I'm just going to dig out a picture of that one for you. I did show it in my collaboration video because Waxing Ring Designs was one of my chosen designers. And when you know, now that I'm looking for it, I can't find it. Here we go. So that's January. So I've done, I think, all of the words, if I remember rightly. So I'm just working on the header. I'll do that border down the sides, and then I get to do the lovely picture at the bottom. So that is going to be the other piece that I next spend my time and really focus on. So when I focus on a piece, it doesn't mean I don't work on anything else. It just means that's kind of where I put most of my efforts. But I'll do, I don't know, maybe a week on it or so. And then I may dabble in something else for a couple of days and then come back to it, or pick up one of my other focus pieces. So that's kind of how I tend to do things. I've got in the region of 15 whips, but they're not all getting worked on at the moment. I don't have a strict rotation or anything like that, so I really do just pick up what I feel like working on when I feel like working on it. I have had a new start since I was last with you. It didn't strictly fall into my rules of finish one, start one, but there's a good reason for it. If I'm actually doing this one as a stitch and all, in my lovely Alice in Wonderland bag from Bags Plus, and I'm using the beautiful Notions pouch from Vintage Lindy Lou that Gina gave me. My lovely Alice in Wonderland pouch with all my threads and things in. And the piece that I am doing as a new start, I'm actually working as a stitch along with Gina and with Sam. So it's Noodles Dance, which is the collaboration design between Hands On Designs, Ink Circles and Summer House Stitchworkes. Lots of people are working on this one. And I love it so much. It's such an enjoyable stitch. So I'm only working on this one at weekends, and that's what I've done so far. And I love it because all the little motifs, it just feels like you've got a little finish every time you do a motif. Really, really enjoying that. It's a very, very happy stitch. Really, really loving that. And I love the colour of this linen. I think it's probably the darkest linen I've stitched on, so that's been a bit of a learning experience for me. But yeah, really loving that one. And so I've been trying to restrict myself to Saturdays on that, so that I still get some time in on my bee. Excuse the rustling. But I must admit, last weekend I got a bit carried away and ended up doing it on Sunday as well. So I did quite a lot on that one last weekend. If you're following me on Instagram, you can see my progress pictures on Instagram, and I tend to put one up kind of at the end of each weekend or whenever I finished that spell of working on it for the week. My bee has seen a little bit of love since I last saw you, but not a lot. This is Quilting Bee by Blue Flower Designs, or sorry, by the Blue Flower. This one's been really popular. It's all over Instagram, all over Facebook. I love this design so much. For those of you that have been with me for a while, you know I had a nasty incident with it a while back, and I had to frog basically 2-3 Sundays worth of work because I was half a row out on my linen, and when I got to doing the bit of the border, it didn't meet up, and I was gutted. And you can't fudge half a row, so I ended up having to frog a lot. I am nearly back now to where I'd got to before. But I do love this pattern so much, and I want to get back to actually being a bit more disciplined about making sure I work on that every Sunday. But at the moment, all bets are off during August, because it'll be about where I happen to be and what I can take with me. And there are some, like this one, that I just don't want to take when I'm camping. I would be absolutely devastated if that got damaged for any reason while we're away. So all bets are off during August. It'll get touched when it gets touched, and then hopefully in September I can get back to more of a routine again. But it's all good, we're all happy, and I'm loving everything I'm stitching at the moment. It's such a nice place to be in. Work's been quite busy the last week or so, so I've not had as much stitching time as I might have liked. I've had to work a couple of evenings, and a couple of evenings by the time I've got home and done everything I need to do with laundry and cleaning and all of those kind of things, I've just really not felt like stitching. I've just been tired, really tired. The old insomnia's hit again, so I've had 2 or 3 nights where I've just not slept, and I have to get up, but I can't stitch because my eyes are too tired. So I can't stitch when I get up because I'm not sleeping, but it does leave me quite drained. It's just one of those things. I go through bouts of it. It might only last a couple of nights, it might last a few weeks, and I've learnt to cope with it, and it's just one of those things that I've accepted. Every once in a while I'm not going to sleep so well, and it'll last for however long it lasts, and I don't cope too badly. I can do my day's work, but I do feel really tired when I've only had like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. But it is what it is. And I'm very blessed, and there are a lot of people in this world that have it a lot worse than I do, so I'm very grateful that I have relatively good health, and yeah, you learn to manage with what you need to manage with. The other project that, again, I've dabbled with this one. I can't say I've really given it a lot of attention, but I've dabbled. Oh my goodness, I love this project. I really want to spend some more time on it. I'm just taking the chart off. Is the lovely Harbour Haven. This is like the world's slowest progress on this. I kind of dabble, I do a few stitches. So what I've done, I've mentioned last time I spoke about this one, I had to put in some darker stitches around here, but I didn't feel that the dark thread was actually all that noticeably different to this main colour for the sea here, and I wasn't very happy with it. So I wanted to find a better colour for the darker thread, which I've done. So these ones here that I've put in darker thread. So I frogged the dark ones that I had in before there, and I will get those put back in, and it shouldn't take me too long actually just to finish then filling in that bit of sea. And there's a tree that comes down here and kind of goes over there. I've still got a lot of work to do just on part one of this, but I love it every time I pick it up. I am not going to make this a focus piece for this year because there's just way too much for me to do to even have a hope of finishing it this year, and I want to stitch it and enjoy every stitch. I don't want to be stitching it because I'm kind of grinding through to get it finished. That's not what stitching is about for me. So it's fun for me to pick one or two pieces I'm going to focus on, but you know, I want to be sensible about the pieces that I choose and pick pieces that I've actually got a hope of finishing. So Harbour Haven, I'm going to continue to pick it up as and when. I'm going to continue to love every stitch I put in on it, and it will get finished, you know, and maybe next year it'll become a focus piece. Maybe at the beginning of the year it'll be like, yep, Harbour Haven is one I'm going to focus on this year and I'm going to get it finished. But for now, we're just kind of going with it and just enjoying the moment on it, which for me is very much what my stitching is about. Is just about loving what I'm doing, and it not being a chore. So that's my philosophy on stitching, and you know, we're all different, we all have different ways that we approach our stitching, and you know, I think that's the joy of this hobby, is that we can all do something different if we want to. But you will see Harbour Haven finish one day, I promise you, because I love it too much not to finish it. And having seen Jan Hicks's version, hers is 1/1, which is amazing. I'm doing 2/2 on mine. Apart from that darker colour for the sea, which I must tell you what it is, and the main colour for the sea, I'm using all of the called for threads. And this pattern actually calls for DMC, so it's not like hideously expensive to kit it up. So if you haven't already got Harbour Haven, you should get it because it's gorgeous. Donna Bayliss is selling it. I believe it's available through her Etsy shop, and she's releasing it a couple of parts every month, I think. So her Etsy shop is by the Bay Needle Art. I will link that below if I remember, and you can go on and you can just buy a couple of parts every month, and I believe at the moment it's only available in hard copy chart. So when I was buying it last year, and I bought it as part of the stitch along, and we bought a part a month and I got the PDFs, but I believe now that the stitch along is finished, she's just releasing the hard copy charts, but I don't know. And if you combo her, she will be able to tell you whether she can provide a PDF or not. So I will pop a link to her shop below. So the threads that I'm using for the sea, so I'm using Classic Colourworks Shamrock in place of DMC 503. I don't know if you're getting that. There we go. Beautiful kind of greeny blue. And then in place of 502, I'm using Gentle Art Peacock, which has just got some beautiful variegation in. And the two together there, so you can see how beautifully they work together. So those are the only substitutions that I've made. So everything else I'm using the called for threads. and the fabric is a fabric that I've dyed myself. So it was a piece of, I think it was a vintage blue linen or something from Zygot, so it wasn't hugely expensive, and I bought the size I needed, and when it turned up, the colour was a lot paler than I'd wanted, and I'd seen Jan Hicks's beautiful fabric that she used for her Harbour Haven and just fell in love with it, and I just thought, oh, I'll have a go and see if I can recreate that and get anywhere close to what Jan's got. So I'm showing you the back, but it still shows you the fabric, and I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So it's not as beautiful as Jan's fabric, but it was my first go at dyeing, and I just used a Dylon hand dye and just kind of dunked different bits of the fabric in at different times and for different lengths of time, scrunched it a little bit, and it was really good fun, and I would love to have a go at more dyeing. So when I can find a linen supply that's not like too scary expensive just for the base linen, then I may well have a go at dyeing. And my friend Nicola and I were talking about maybe having a go at doing some ice dyeing, which will be a completely different technique for me. And yeah, so we may give that a try. I'm going on a retreat again at the beginning of September. Yay! This is a brand new retreat. There are only about 15 of us going, I think. But it's in a place that I've been for retreats before. But we did say we may kind of set ourselves up in a little corner and have a go at some ice dyeing. So we'll see how that works out. Whether we get to it or not, I'm not sure. But if we do, obviously I'll show you the results, because I think that will be quite an exciting thing to try. And it'll be a different technique for me that I've not tried before. So that's everything I've been working on. I've got some haul to share with you. I am really trying. I'm trying so hard. Let me move things around and tidy up a bit. I'm trying so hard to rein it in a little bit. I'm trying so hard. But I see the pretty things. Oh, you know the struggle. I see the pretty things. And I like the pretty things, and I want the pretty things. And, you know, no matter that I have however much I've got in my stash at the moment, there are so many amazing charts and fabrics, and I don't want to miss out. But, you know, I'll get there. I can't do my packet up. Sorry. I will get there. And actually, I've not been too bad this month. So I have got a piece of, so some of this was ordered some time ago, to be fair. So this is a piece of the May 2019 Facebook special fabric from Crafty Kitten. So a kind of grey base with a little bit of pink and some sort of greeny turquoisey tones in there. I don't know if that's picking up for you. I think that would be quite a useful kind of neutral background for things, with just that really subtle bit of colour in there. There's not a lot of pink in my piece. I've got more of the sort of greeny turquoisey kind of tones in mine. So I've got that one. I ordered this from Jolly Reed Designs. This was a piece of fabric that she had already on her website, already dyed, all ready to go. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, and it's a huge piece of fabric. So it's a fat half, so 26 by 36. Now that's a huge piece of fabric. I don't even know if I can get it all in for you. That is a massive piece of fabric, but it's called Mermaid Lagoon. Let me fold it down a bit so it's a bit more of a manageable size for me to show you. And the colours in here are, oh, they are beautiful. Sorry, I'm trying to get this a bit more manageable to pick up and show you. So we've got that lovely kind of aqua background with beautiful purples and some slight hints of darker blue in it. Just beautiful. So I bought that one purely because it was there and I liked it and it was ready to go, and I thought, you know what, why not? I don't have very many Gingerbread fabrics, although I have to say my fabric stash in general is quite healthy. So I got that one from Gingerbread Designs, and then she also had this limited edition thread, which is Mermaid Dreams, which looks beautiful against the fabric. So I bought 5 skeins of those. I don't think I'm going to use them together because I'm not sure when it's stitched. I don't think that thread's going to show up well enough on the fabric, but you know, maybe I will, because it might just give me a really subtle look for a geometric piece or something, maybe a link circles. So I'm undecided, but I've got 5 skeins of that thread, so that should be enough to do something quite worthwhile. Just couldn't resist. So that's a cotton thread, and that's on the Gingerbread Designs website, which I will link below for you. I treated myself to Primrose from Carolyn Manning, which I'd been admiring for a little while, and it's a small design. I don't think that one's going to take too long to stitch up. I bought the PDF, and I've got the Silky threads to go with it. I've been wanting to try the Silky threads for quite some time. Let me get the colours out to show you. Try not to drop them all. Yeah, I've been on about trying the Silky threads for a while, and thought actually a small project to give them a whirl on would be absolutely ideal. Apparently I'm not coordinated enough to be able to hold 6 threads up. There we go. So those are the called for colours for Carolyn Manning's Primrose. No plans to start this immediately, but it's a small project, so it may well come on holiday with me. But really looking forward to trying the Silky and seeing, you know, if the coverage is as good as they say. They say that 1 strand of the Silky is equivalent to 2 strands of DMC. So we will see how that goes. Excuse my rustling. I'm trying to tidy up as I go along. Best of plans and all that. I got the next monthly chart from Waxy Moon Designs. This is September, and I think this is one of my favourites so far. I really love this one. And again, I picked this one up from her Etsy shop, which I will pop the link below. Waxy Moon Designs is one of the other designers that I featured in my FlossTube collaboration video. So if you'd like to find out more about Waxy Moon Designs and you've not already watched that collaboration, do pop along and watch my video on that, because I featured Waxy Moon Designs, Carolyn Manning, and no, it's gone. Oh my word, that's completely gone. And I featured another designer, and if you want to know who they are, go and watch my collaboration video. I am so sorry, that has completely vanished. I have no idea. Oh dear. Perimenopausal, that's what I'm putting it down to. I can't remember anything. Do you know what? I used to have such a good memory. I used to keep like calendars for the entire family in my head. I knew who was doing what, when they were doing it, where we had to be, how it all fitted together. I could tell you like that if we already had something booked in for a day. Now, if I have not got it written down in my diary, I have not got a hope of remembering. And oh, I've got an exam coming up in September for my my HR qualification that I'm doing. So that's going to be fun if I can't remember stuff. I need to do my revision postcards and things. That's always a technique I've used in the past. Anyway, I have just major sidetracked. Let me show you what else I bought. This one, so Mika from Darling Bluebell enabled me when she showed this on her FlossTube, and I have fallen in love with this. So it's 6 pages from 1603 from ABC Works, and again I bought this from Etsy, and I'll pop the link below for you. And I love it. It's so pretty. So in my mind, I'm planning on working this in 3 shades of green. And I'd like to work it in silk. That's as far as I've got yet. Because I was going to order some Karen water lilies the other day, and I went onto the Lakeside Needlecraft website and I started looking at the Karen water lilies, and it's just so hard to know what colours are going to go together, because as you know, different screens show different colours different ways, and they all look lovely on the screen, but I couldn't be sure that they were going to go together. And the water lilies aren't cheap, they're just over £5 a skein. And even if I only order 3 skeins, that's £15, and if I'm spending that for a specific pattern, I want to know that I'm getting it right. So I'm putting off at the moment buying the silks for this one, because I really want to go somewhere where I can see the silks in real life. If I were just stitching in one colour of silk, it wouldn't be such a big deal, because I would just pick my colour, and I could either use one of the big hanks of silk that I've already got from Mrs. Saders or Silks for You, or I would just order another one off the Etsy and just go with it. But because I want 3 shades of green, that I want them to work really well together, and I want kind of a light, a medium and a dark, and it's getting the right tone of green, so I kind of know in my mind what I'm looking for. So I just want to wait until I can go somewhere and actually have a look at the silks, see them in real life, put them together, have a play, and come up with a combination that I'm happy with, because you know, I don't honestly know if one skein of each colour is going to be enough. I haven't actually looked in detail at the thread count and all of that, so I've got work to do, but that's my plan. Get some, it's going to be fab. I've done a thing, I think a slightly mad thing. Fantasy Mandala Peacock. Jan Hicks, you are to blame for this one, because I went looking at the Cross Stitch Collectibles website after you had shown your beautiful mandala, and I wasn't going to buy anything until I saw this peacock, because I like peacocks. So I bought this chart, and it wasn't actually that expensive. I don't know, £10–15, something like that. Bought the PDF. Didn't really look at it, just bought the PDF. And then I downloaded it. And when I downloaded it, it was, trying to find a page number. Okay, so there are 42 pages of chart. And the finished size, well, is 300 by 395 stitches. This is big, my friends. This is really big. If I work this, I don't know. I don't know I don't know what kind of fabric I'm going to work this on. It's going to need to be an even weaver linen because all of that white is not stitched. So it's going to have to be a linen or an even weave, and it's going to have to be a hand dyed so that I've got a beautiful background for my beautiful peacock. I'm going to have a look in my stash. I have no plans to start this anytime soon. I've already got my Prince Peacock, which I showed you in video 2, where I showed all my whips, that I haven't touched for months, and I've done hardly anything on. So Prince needs to be done and finished before I start another peacock. So I'm absolutely clear about that. And I think Prince is going to get some love maybe towards the end of this year and early into next year. I would really, really like to make some progress with Prince. So this one, oh, I did the thing. I'm also eyeing up, there's a gorgeous peacock kit on Gecko Rouge that Charisse from Denkai Designs got for her birthday. So at the moment, the Gecko Rouge peacock kit has gone onto my wish list. I don't mind buying a chart when I see a chart, because charts generally, you know, even a big chart, maybe, you know, £15. But when you're buying a kit, and especially that peacock kit, I think was about £75, if I remember rightly. And that's, for me, that's too much money to just kind of buy and just have sitting around when that's just one. I don't know, my logic is really flawed, because I will buy a chart and kit it up with thread and have it sitting around. I will buy fabric for no particular reason and have a fabric stash. But there's something in me that's saying, you can't just spend £75 on a kit. But if it was a birthday present, Chris, if you're watching, it's a birthday present, that would be okay, because my logic is really twisted and really flawed. I know this. I know this. Who cares, right? Who cares? Do you care? I don't care. Let's have a drink. Are you guys still with me? I hope I'm not boring you too much. I want to do my blurt card. So we've been doing these the last few videos. So I'll show you the box of Press Pause cards. I have linked these a couple of times previously, so if you want to find them, have a look on my earlier videos to find the link for these. And today's card: you are worthy and you are deserving. You always have been, you always will be. Don't forget it. Really, don't forget it. You're special. I am taking part in a little collaboration. And this is a project that I'm kind of excited about. So, on one of my Facebook stitching groups a little while ago, somebody put out a request. I think it was a My Rebelia Retreaters group actually. So that as they couldn't come to retreat, what they would really like is to have a piece where lots of her friends had stitched on it, and she had selected the Ackworth Friendship book, and she was asking for basically volunteers of people that would like to stitch a page in the book for her. I can't show you the chart, but she's had permission to reproduce a section of the chart for each of us. So she sent it out to us with the fabric and the threads, and I will be doing a section of the book for her. So she ordered a big hank of thread from Silks for You, and then she's bundled up a bit for each of us. It should be plenty to do our design. So that's the colour, which is PR126. It does have some beautiful, beautiful variegation in it. I don't know how well this is coming up on camera. Can you see that lovely variegation in there? And this is the fabric that she selected. So that's our combination. So I will be doing a section of the friendship book for Denise and sending that back for her. And she's enclosed an extra little piece of fabric so that we can stitch one for ourselves as well. And then she's put in a little card that she just wants us to write a little note on the back and send that back with our stitching to her. And she's going to keep all of the cards from everybody who stitched on it for her in a pocket in the book, which I think is a lovely, lovely idea. So yeah, at some point I'm going to start working on this. So I think she wants it back October, I think, but I'm not sure if it was the beginning of October or the end of October, so I'm going to have to start that one fairly soon. But I think once I get going, it's not actually going to take me that long to stitch. So that's really lovely to be doing something a bit different like that. And actually, what I meant to tell you when I showed you my needles dance earlier, that I'm doing Stitch Along with Gina and Sam, we are all getting together for a retreat at the beginning of November. And what we have said is that we are all going to stitch a motif on each other's. So we will take them to the November retreat and stitch a motif on each other's and initial it in November. And that will be a lovely, I think, a lovely memento of doing our stitch along together. So yeah, really lovely to be doing something different like that. I've never done anything like this before, so really looking forward to doing that and getting started on that one and working with that beautiful, beautiful silk. Guys, you have stuck with me so long. I want to share my 1,000 subscriber celebration with you. I am absolutely over the moon to have reached 1,000 subscribers so soon after I started doing FlossTube. Thank you all so much for your comments, for your love, for your support. It means so much to me, and I love reading your comments. I try to reply to them all. I think I'm more or less up to date with my comments. If I've not replied to you, please know it's an oversight. It's not personal. I've just missed your comment. I don't always get notifications, or sometimes the notifications just come through when things are really crazy busy, and I try to go back through and make sure that I pick up comments. So I'm really sorry if I have missed you. It's not personal. By all means, comment again and say, "Wait, Liz, come on, talk to me." But I love sharing those comments and having those conversations with you. I've had a couple of emails, which has been really lovely. So my email contact details will be below. So if you want to contact me via email, please do that. Feel free to do that. If you want to send me maybe a bit more than you'd want to put in a comment or whatever. I am enjoying being part of the FlossTube community, part of our wider stitching community, and I want to celebrate with you reaching 1,000 subscribers. So I have been gathering and buying bits and pieces to put together what I hope you will think is a suitable celebratory gift for one of you. So let me show you what I've been putting together for you. So we have this lovely chart with the buttons by Sans Sarah, Over the Hill. You will notice a theme. So that's the chart and the little button pack there. I have another copy of Quilting Bee by Blue Flower. Are you spotting the theme yet? I have all of the flosses, the called for flosses for Quilting Bee, Gentle Art, and yeah, mostly Gentle Arts and one Classic Colourworks. So they are all in there for you. A beautiful needle minder and a needle tin, if you can see that. The needle tin is also has magnets so that you can attach it to your work if you want to. Magnets in the back. So I ordered those, commissioned those especially for you from Denkai Designs. I need one of these. Oh, I thought I need the set. I'm going to have to ask Charisse for another one for me because they're gorgeous. And I've bought for you a beautiful bag. Lovely vinyl bag from Be Crafty Bags. So that is my gift to share with one of you, to thank you for joining me. So I hope that you will want to enter. And what I would like you to do, for those of you that have been with me for a little while, will know that I'm starting a bird stitch along in September. So any chart with a bird will have a hashtag, and yeah, we'll just enjoy stitching. There are so many charts out there with birds on, and I just want as many of you to join in as possible, and just enjoy sharing that together. So what I would like you to do is, in order to enter my giveaway, my celebration prize, is to please comment below and tell me, if you're joining my bird stitch along, what chart are you going to be stitching? So what the designer is and what the chart's called. And if you're not joining my stitch along, tell me what you would stitch if you were joining stitch along. Does that make sense? So basically I'm looking for a name of a designer, the name of a chart. I'm prepared to be enabled. You know that I'm going to be looking all of these up to see what you're all doing. I'm doing the Cottage Garden Samplings Songbird Garden series. I've changed my plans around that a little bit. I had intended to do all 12 of them on one big piece, and I'm now, thanks to Jeb of Country Stitchers. Jeb was discussing this on their last video, and one of their subscribers had kind of contacted her for ideas about how to lay them out, and I love Jeb's idea of having 3 groups of 4 birds, so kind of, you know, 4 in a square, but then 3 groups of 4. I love that idea so much, so I have decided that that's what I'm going to do. I need to work out my groupings, I need to work out my fabric, and I'm considering putting a border around, so each group of 4, but then I need some way of dividing the 4 up, so I've still got some planning to do. So anyway, I'm going to be doing the Songbird Garden series for the bird stitch along, which we're going to be starting probably the middle of September. So once the kids have gone back to school, in the UK they go back around about the 5th or 6th of September usually. So I'll give people a week or so to recover from that and to get back into normal routines, and then we'll get cracking with our bird stitch along. And I will have worked myself out by then. So please tell me, say the designer, the name of the chart for our bird stitch along, regardless of whether you're actually intending to join in or not. Just tell me a chart that you love which has birds in it. Please don't mention giveaway. Please make sure that you are 18 or over. Please be a subscriber. I'm going to leave this one open for a little while because I just don't know how August is going to pan out for me at the minute. So it's going to be open for you to enter until my next video. So on the morning of whatever day I decide I'm going to do my next video, I will just have a look and pull off all of the entries and do a random number generator, and we will go from there. So designer, name of a bird chart. Tell me actually whether you're going to join in the stitch along or not, because that would be lovely. I'm really hoping lots of you are going to join in. I know quite a few of you have already said you're going to join in, which is fab. So tell me whether you're going to join in or not. That's not going to affect whether you can win the prize. It's just, I'm nosy. I like to know these things. But yeah, make sure you're over 18, because you need to be able to give me your mailing address. I will post it anywhere in the world. So don't worry about that. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's everything I have to tell you. I'm going to have to start doing my videos more regularly again, because these videos are getting long, and you know, maybe you lose interest after 20 minutes. I don't know, I hope you're still with me. Thank you so much for your company today. I really enjoyed spending time with you. And remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Bye.